flowing waters and ancient stones. Source remembered, rewriting your bones. A boat, adrift, on a shimmering path, broadcasting hope and maybe a laugh. A spiral tongue of mischievous wit, just trying to soften life's hard hit. We stand together, although you roam. My voice will guide you and bring you home. Through midnight mists and candle glow, stories ripple, soft and slow. Whispers weave where shadows play, and dreamers wake before the day. Tune your heart where the wild winds blow, and follow the tide to the radio. Flowing waters and ancient stones, source remembered, deep in your bones. The rivers hum, the path calls, echoes dance through the ancient halls. A spiral tongue of moonlit wit whispers truths you half admit. We drift together, and though apart we roam, my voice is always a current and will always lead you home. Beneath the dark, the dream unfolds, silver threads through the stories told. Beneath each breath, the night hums low. The pulse, the wave, the undertow. Surrender softly. Let it flow. And lose yourself in the dark moon radio. Good morning, welcome back to the Dark Moon Radio Show. We're broadcasting live from the English canals, I think. There's always a hope. Well, never mind. It'll either be happening or it won't. Okay. I'm not sure. I've got YouTube. I'm playing with YouTube. I'm not sure if it's happening. If it's not happening on YouTube, I will turn it off. Good morning, welcome. Okay. It is radio. It is gonna be a little bit weird and wonderful, but okay, it is working. I'm not going to turn it off. I'm not going to touch it. Not going to look at it. Hello to my radio station. My radio station on radio.darkmoon rocks. Oh, have I got plans for you? Oh dear. It sounds ominous, but it's okay. I'm going places. I put together a pitch deck yesterday. That's like, okay. A pitch deck. What the friggin' heck is a pitch deck? I'm looking for mentors, and they're saying they help you with your pitch deck. So what I do is I go to ChatGPT and say, what the friggin' heck is a pitch deck? Apparently it's a presentation of what you do as a business. It's like, yeah. They love making up new terms for this, don't they? It's like they've got a whole new language for this. I'm like, okay, fine. So I go away to Canva and I spend a couple of hours putting it all together, make it nice. And yeah, send it back to ChatGPT. Say, well, I wouldn't do it quite like that. Okay, I've listened to it a little bit. I'm not sure. Are these? Oh, why can't I hear you through my headphones? Maybe that helps. Yes, okay, there we go. All right, just doing everything looks good. I don't know. It's one of those like dreary overcast days. So today I wrote on deck. I sit on deck and I write this. Well, I don't write it so much nowadays. I speak it into my phone. Ah, it makes such a difference. But witch stones and the limits of sight. Because I'm so aware of the limits of my eyes. Now I'm short-sighted, so everything is blurry, which tells you sort of, I mean, everything's blurry. Close-up isn't that blurry. But there's so many things just on the edge of my vision that I miss. And I was wearing a straw hat the other day on deck, because yesterday afternoon was quite pleasant. It was a little bit getting overcast, and then eventually it rained. But I have a straw hat, and it's got lots of holes in it. And have you ever seen those pinhole glasses? Right, so they take short-sightedness and they put you lots of little pinholes all over the lenses of the glasses. So your brain has to look at little holes of light, which are actually in focus. And the straw hat that I had on had lots of pinholes of light, and it was working in the same kind of way. So I could look through the straw hat and I could see in focus leaves. Yeah, it's just a curiosity, because I've always thought that if one of my senses is bringing in faulty data, how do I know they all aren't? So I've never really trust my whole sensory system, because my eyesight is so bad. It could be making it up as it goes along. And as it turns out, I have a feeling that most of our senses are just making it up as it goes along. It tries to sort of sort out the world. But anyway, that's where I'll go into the limits of sight. It's always entertaining when I go off on one. But it's a cool, overcast canal. I mean, it's like a 17 degrees and cloudy. But there you go, 17 degrees on the 17th of June. Water levels have dropped again. Yeah. So it means the boat is sitting at a slightly steeper angle this morning. And it's nothing alarming, but it's just enough to notice when you walk from one end to the other. We're pretty stable. I think that's one of the great things about narrowboats, is that we are pretty stable. We don't rock around like a big little aluminium one. In fact, the aluminium boats, I've heard them being referred to as yogurt pots, because they literally do sort of bob around like a freaking pot. But we're pretty stable in the water, but we're on ground now and we're not moving much. We've got a slightly V bottom. Yes, we've got a slightly V bottom. We do. Sounds ominous, but there we go. It means that we can sit a little closer to the shore than the flat bottom ones. Just on the sort of geometry of things. But it's a very sandy, gravelly bottom, and when boats go past, they just sort of kind of push us further in, especially when they're going at quite speed. I wish they'd slow down a bit, but anyway. Yeah, it's the sky is also like grey. There's no blue this morning, or there wasn't earlier. Maybe there's a bit now. But there's spots of rain drifting through it. Yesterday promised summer for an hour or two, a little warmth, a little sunshine. And then the clouds returned and reclaimed the evening. So the red kite is busy hunting and announcing itself to the world. And a magpie. There's quite a few magpies around, just watching the proceedings. The canal remains quiet, apart from a shrieking cat. I'm not sure what he was on about the other day. A couple of minutes back, actually. He was squeaking about something. He was very happy about something. There is probably a dead small mammal on the side of the towpath. I know this alarms some people, but it is part of the cats. I love cats, and it's part of their nature, so I kind of have to love what they do. I don't like it when they get the babies, and I do feel for them. But it is the whole nature's circle. But the day is going to unfold itself as it usually does. Right, what would you like to hear today? What delectable delights can I send your way? How about some protection? Protection, what's that one? Protection Wings. Haven't played that one in a while. Yeah. I got a bit sad yesterday. In fact, I got very sad. There's things happening in the news. And I shouldn't pay attention to them. I do know better. But things that have caught my attention yesterday hurt. And I don't really need any more hurt in my life. But they hurt. It's basically, it's sort of, I'll mention it once and then you know what I'm talking about. Sort of rape gang inquiries. I should never have clicked on the link and opened it. And it's just like, and I was reading through it and I thought, no, don't do this to yourself. I hurt for those that hurt. And then there was a baby that was hurt to death. And I was like, okay, this is too much. I go into a little bit of shock and I feel sort of nauseous. And it's like, So I've come off social media. I've come off, well, at least Facebook. I've come off my main profile. I have to go onto the Dark Moon Rocks one. So if you're on Facebook, you can find me on the Dark Moon Rocks bit there. But I can't do Facebook right now. And I'm not on Twitter. Twitter also, I'll just post my radio stuff. But I've got to back off from that. Oof, nasty stuff. And so this is protection wings for all those that need it. Feel them now, feel them rise from your spine. Your spine, they crystallize, and as you feel them rise, they rise from your spine, they crystallize. Feel them now, feel them rise. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, streams, blue, streams of indigo, yellow, red, green. Rooty, feel the weight in your backbone flows. Two wings unfold like breath, anchored strong where the body knows. Its seven centers, life to death. From the root they start to glow, rising through each sphere. Colors flowing slow. Through every chakra, bright and clear. From your shoulder blades they spread, feathered light, feathered yellow, every color you have fed.
rising through you.
Orange flows, yellow power, green light grows. It grows,
Speaks truth across each feather. Indigo sees what sunlight see within. Violent crowns them all together. Rainbow armor, fierce and keen. Red, round them round you, soft as silk, strong as mountains, light as air. Wrap yourself in starlit milk, a cocoon of colors there. See your car within their sweep, chrome and metal wrapped in gold. Every passenger you keep out of the safe within your winged light hold. Wrap them gently around your child. Wrap them around their sleeping, around their play. Protection that is soft and close. Wrap them wide. You are safe. Guardian wings throughout the day. Wrap them close. Wrap them wide. Pets and partners, friends and kin, all nestled in your care. Fold your wings and tuck them in, safe within the colors there. These wings are yours, they're always there, anchored deep within your spine, fed by light and breath and prayer.
plane, bicycle wheel,
rainbow
covered
by design.
Plane, bicycle wheel.
So spread them wide or hold them sheer, as needed in each moment's call. Protection born from love, not fear. Your sacred wings, breath wings that hold all your radiantness. Feel them now. Your loved ones rest within the shelter of your radiant. From your spine they crystallize. Extend, expand, embrace. Fill the whole sacred space. Feel them, trust them, let them go. Your wings of light, your wings of light, protecting eternity. Believe, know that you are protected. They are protected, you are protected. Believe and breathe. Protection is yours, you are protected by the night, by this rainbow light from all within. The light that you are protected. This is my will, so let it be. That was nice. That was good. I made that a long time ago. That's kind of cool. So how are we all today? I'm tired, obviously. It sounds a little bit like I'm not got a lot of energy. I've a bit annoyed at the tea. I bought some nice milk the other day and it didn't last very long. Gone into clumps. I know there's a way of making cream out of soured milk. I've got to look into that because I'm losing a lot of milk and that's not fun. And yes, I fall back on the powdered stuff. But my partner bought pudding last night and it had cream, so I've kind of used the cream in my tea. Yes, makes for a lovely tea. I'm sure it's very keto. But yeah, trying to get some dopamine hit or at least some energy. But some days are just not going to come with energy. I accept that. I had a stroke in March, So it's like, okay. Just got to weave some energy. And I've got some big ideas where I want to take this. I've got, darkmoon.rocks is the is the website. And I'm going to make a whole bunch of podcasts and create another radio station with them. Because where I'm at with Azurecast, I can create as many radio stations as I want. And it's all I pay for storage and it's very cheap. So it's like, okay, this is good. This is, I can be creative and I can be sort of energetic again. And there are so many things now that AI can do for you if you don't code. So it can do the coding for you. And one of the things is an app, yes. It's a website app. So I'm still in the process of that. It takes me a while to pull things together, and I used to be a lot quicker at sort of having the idea and putting it into action. Now I mull things over and I wait for the time that the energy is there for it. But yeah, an app is the first thing, but I've got other ideas because it can build me. I have the ideas and it can bring them out. It's like, okay, right. And whenever I've got sort of the technology that will do it for me, I'm quite interested. It won't ever do the creaty stuff. I'll always do the live stuff. This is gonna be me. I'm gonna talk my bollocks basically, and that'll always happen. And the live stream stuff will be live stream, but I've got to record a whole bunch, and so the auto DJ will have the recording and the spell songs and the podcasts and the stories. Oh, I've got a couple stories that I have written and going to put those together maybe today, maybe. But the dog knows something. The dog is outside eating grass. Right, now it's done this for a while. Now I thought it learnt it off the cat because the cat also grazes. Just he nips off the tops of the blades of grass and he looks around for the right grass and he eats it. And it's like, okay, he's not a cow. What the frickin' heck is he eating grass? Apparently dogs do this when their stomachs are unsettled, just like a cat does when it's got a fur ball and needs to throw up. He's barking around. There is something out there again. He's a couple of times. He's quite happy to see it and he wags his tail, but then it's gone. I think the fox may be back, but anyway. The dog's eating grass, and this is like nature's own pharmacy. No internet searches, no self-help books, no wellness influencers, just grass. And I'm looking at him, trusting his instincts. And I think he's kind of trusts his instincts a lot more than we trust ours. He knows when he needs to eat grass. He doesn't do it always. But perhaps they haven't spent thousands of years overthinking everything. It's a possibility. Dog knows what he needs. Cat knows exactly what he needs. And that includes, yucky stuff. Meanwhile, humans are still out there writing books and trying to work themselves out. So it's a weird thing. But obviously it doesn't do him any harm. He's actually in better condition this year. Last year we had a flea infestation we couldn't get rid of. And he started nibbling himself, sort of all his fur came out. So this year he's got a proper flea killer. And yes, that is a good thing. And his coat is in beautiful condition. He is in the prime of his life. He turns 5 in October. So he also gets, coming up. Are you coming up? Yes, I'm talking about you. Hello, baby. Yeah, he's in the prime of his life and he's very much loved and pampered. You should have seen what I put in his dinner last night. It included the rest of the butter. Because I do know that fats are not the enemy. So butter and things like that are all sort of good for us. Well, too much is not a good thing. But the rest of the little bit of the butter that was left over. And they both, the cat and dog, like my face cream. My face cream is coconut oil. It's like, yeah. So I cover my face in coconut oil and they both try and lick it off me. And it's like, no, 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 don't lick my face. I think that's unhygienic. It's probably not, but whatever. So at the back of the boat hangs a collection of witch stones. Yeah, I'll get my teeth in. But witch stones now. Stones with natural holes in them. And it's like you pick them up on the beach and you run a rope through them and you hang them all together. And we found these stones, I think it was down on Dorset coastline many years ago. And when we got the boat, we hung them together. So they've been on there for years. The rope is a bit frayed. And it's weathered by rain. It's got covered in moss, decorated with cobwebs and things that get stuck in the cobwebs, and witch stones, hag stones. You know what I'm talking about. Traditionally, they were used for protection from spirits, from protection from ill fortune, protection from the unseen. And modern minds often dismiss such ideas, and I'm looking at those modern minds and I'm dismissing them because the human brain, you've got to ask a question, what are we protecting from what? I was watching an amazing documentary about people in the olden days. They had mercury mirrors, mirrors made of mercury, and making them was quite hazardous. But they had to cover them up during nighttime and keep them well away from children's rooms. Now, you think about this and you think, superstition. Hang on a second. Back up, back up, back up. These were not any more different than you or I. Superstition, mere superstition. Little rituals that we do, to touch the hagstone on the way out, that sort of thing. It's like humans only see a tiny fraction of the world around them, a narrow band of light. It's a narrow band of sound and a narrow range of perception. The dog hears things that I can't, and the cat notices things long before I do. Cat can't see as well the world I see, but I can't see its world either, because it sees through its whiskers and its paws, and I think it's got a much better understanding of the world around it. But when I come up the path, it looks at me and it doesn't know me, and then it sort of stares at me for a bit, and then I either make a noise or a sound, and oh, it's you. So each creature experiences a different version of reality. Think about that, because I did. In other words, in the olden days, when they covered up the mirrors, they saw a version of reality that is different from today. For a start, we don't have those mercury mirrors. I must admit, when I read this, when I saw the documentary, I thought, ooh, I would like very much to examine a mercury mirror. An old-fashioned mirror that they used to have to cover up. Because too many things are mysterious to us. And it doesn't really matter if those minds that say, the scientific mind says, that's a load of rubbish. That's superstition. Because what is true for you does not necessarily mean it's true for me. I have seen energy forms. Now, this is my specific experience, right? Because I'm as blind as a bat, because my eyesight is very poor, I see energy forms around people. One could call them auras. And when I was a kid, they were normal. I thought everyone did. And my children, they used to reach out and try and catch streaks of light. People move their hand, and you've got a leftover hippie trail. Hippie, yes, they used to say, acid, LSD, gives you happy trails. And okay, I still can see auras around things.
And yeah, I've always accepted the fact that basically, because I was a teenager, I used to get laughed at, that I have to pay attention to the real world. This was drilled into me. I have to put my glasses on and see the real world. When I take my glasses off, I see a different world. And that's normal for me, and it's probably normal for cats and dogs. But I mean, do we really see the world that each of us sees? Do we really share the same world? These are always questions. I can't answer them, but my gut feeling says no. Because people don't see as I see. I don't see how you see. It's like every creature does experience a different version of reality. And things like the stones and those mercury mirrors are not reminders of supernatural dangers. No, supernatural is a stupid word. Supernatural is more than natural. No, everything is freaking natural. And that's the joy of it all. It is actually all the electromagnetic and uh, the blue spectrum and the red spectrum of light that we actually, some of us can't see, some of us may be able to see. And Elon Musk is saying that with his implants, vision implants to help blind people see, they'll be able to see a lot of the spectrum that we can't. Have you ever seen the horror? I don't know whether it's true or not, but it's a conspiracy theory where the Russians kept people awake for long periods of time and they didn't get their REM sleep, and very, very quickly they were seeing things around them that were terrifying to them. I don't know how true that one is, but I can believe it though, because if you've ever gone without sleep for a couple of days, poor life gets a little bit stressful, and yeah, you can start seeing all kinds of things. But when you open your eyes and look around the room, how sure are you that that is all there is there? Because we're not seeing Wi-Fi signals, we're not seeing radio signals. But we do get other things. And that's when, yeah, hagstones, witchstones, reminders of humility, because a reminder that there is an awful lot more happening than we actually can see. Is that a scary thing? Is that a scary thing for you? I hope not. I hope not, because it's like it is part of the world we live in. We are part of it. So the stress levels, that's just on how we were brought up. Yeah.
Shadow isn't where you fall apart. It's where you stop pretending that you're fine and finally find your feet. Dark Moon Rocks Radio, where you'll find it.
Da 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 da. But yeah, I wouldn't be worried, because if you see things that perhaps you don't want to see, you ask it, hey, look, I'm not ready for that yet. Can you come back when I'm not in fear mode? And I would help you out with that, because I have helped people out with that. It's like, hey, you're not alone by seeing things differently. You're not going nuts. You're not freaking out. It's the time is right here. The time you are big enough and you are strong enough to be able to face this now. Because when kids go through this stuff, and they do, they see stuff they're not sure of, and telling them they're nuts doesn't help. Okay, telling them they're nuts, telling them that they're crazy, they're already thinking that, and that doesn't help. Telling them, hey, our eyesight has to adjust itself during our lifetime, and it adjusts itself to our psychological and our shadow and all kinds of things. And you can say, if they're
beings or images that you are not ready for. You say, hey, come back when I'm ready, because this is freaking me out. And a lot of times, that's all it takes. Yeah, let's play a song.
Until the weakest stands restored, I will remain. Heart to heart, thread to thread, break and open apart. Keys for change, warmth for cold, hands that are steady, the stories told. May I become a shelter for the homeless, a bridge across the waters that divine. May I be warmth where darkness freezes. A steady hand that guides and no longer about. For every heart hatred softens, hope takes root. I am the ground broken. I am the proof for every soul changed. May I remember the key until the last tear dries, until fear loses its grip. May I not sleep in easy peace, while suffering still speaks. Where hatred burns, anger, let me show you understanding. Cruelty answers by grace. Walk toward where despair roots deep. Let me sit and plant hope. Until the weakest down. For those who stumble, let me be the solid ground. For those who can't see in the dark, let my presence be enough. Every face, my own I see, every eye reflecting me. Every face, I see, every eye reflecting me. Every face, my own I see, every eye reflecting me. Until the weakest stands restored, I will remain.
I will remain. In the dark. Why not? I like the dark. I was just thinking about sort of auras and energy fields. I have a course somewhere that I don't know if I finished it. I was bad at finishing stuff like that. But how to see auras. When I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, I was fascinated because I could see flickers of it, but it wouldn't come when I called it. So I got 2 magnets, and I could see the flickers of light by holding these 2 magnets that bounced off each other. And I went under the bed covers. I used to go into the darkest place I could find, and it was under the bed covers. And I used to play with the aura of bouncing off these 2 magnets together. And eventually, it would come when I asked it. So if I wanted to see someone's aura, it was a very useful thing. When I was a kid, I was, I don't know, 8 or 9, maybe a bit more. But if you could see someone's aura, you could see who they were, where they're going. You could see what they were thinking about. Sometimes there were images there. You'd see what they're feeling. So if they were angry at you, yeah, it was probably if they were angry at you, you could learn to read the room very quickly. So yes, it was probably a survival trait. But it was like there was a dog came into the playground when I was a kid. Now, this was Jordan. Okay, so Jordan Aman. And I was up and I had to get up higher. And I looked at this dog and it was quite a way away, but it was angry, it was mean, it was frothing at the mouth, rabies probably, I don't know. It was a big, scary dog. And I climbed and I was telling everybody to come on up, climb up, get up on the playground. And the dog went for 2 kids and I was already up on the parallel bars and it was like it couldn't get at me. But I could see its energy was mad, insane, chaotic. It didn't know what it was doing. It gave me a fear of dogs for a long time, and it took me a while to realize that, it was the aura I was more afraid of, the mad dog aura. And yeah, a couple of kids got bitten and stuff like that, and they eventually put a better fence around the school playground where I was in. But I don't remember all of that. That was all the sort of the adult stuff. Mine was looking at this insane, crazy thing. And it was Jordan. So it was Jordan in the 70s. So yeah, lots of strange things were happening there. And I was seeing a lot of strange things. So it's not surprising I ended up having a very deep interest in the energy fields around people. And I look back and I'm thinking, if I had an interest in art or I don't know, underwater basket weaving. Instead, I had I was fascinated by anything that was supernatural. I don't like the word supernatural. Nothing is really, but at the time I didn't know. Anything that was occult or that was energetics and at the fringe science, magics, spirituality, religions, all of them. I was just fascinated by that. That was my goal. That was my, I was like in a trance every time. I remember going to Petra. Now, if you know of Petra, it's the big stone temple carved into mountains. And oh my goodness, the energies around that area, it was populated. There were people there, but the people had no bodies. It was like, whoa, this is full on. I don't know what I'm seeing. And you try and talk to the adults and they're like, huh? What? Don't be silly, dear. It's all in your mind. It's all in your imagination. Here, go settle down and read a book. So I would be reading really strange books. I was looking for the strangest books I could find. And was it all in my imagination? To this day, I look back and I'm thinking, well, you were a highly imaginative kid. You could have imagined a lot. Or some weird shit was going on quite a bit. And I look around and I can still see the weird shit. And I can see when I read tarot and crystal ball, I deliberately push myself back. So the personality is pushed out of the way so that I don't have to overthink this, because I will overthink it. And it's just like, you don't read tarot and crystal ball when you overthink it. So you just let it flow. And that's the state that I taught myself to read tarot. And that's the state where you look at witch stones that are on the back of the boat for protection, good luck, and good fortune. And it's the same state. Just let it flow. Don't overthink it. I am so good at overthinking. And, trying to work out this stuff, the brain doesn't know. And when the brain doesn't know, it makes it up. It's like an AI. It hallucinates. And that's why ChatGPT and Claude and all of those, they will hallucinate because they're taking their cues from us. We hallucinate. We fill in the blanks with our brain. And those blanks that we fill in are not necessarily true. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not nuts.
I've always been nuts. I've always had a bent for the unknown, the unexplained. I want to know why. In fact, it's annoying. It's just half of it's annoying. But I was thinking, if I'd gone into rocket science or neurophysics or anything that has more of a solid grounding, real world application, instead I go into energy fields, and not even in a scientific way. Meh, silly me. You got up today. Maybe that was easy, maybe it took everything you had. Either way, you did it. Tomorrow is uncertain. Right now is yours. Dark Moon Radio, we see you. We really do. Yep, we see you. I see you right there. Yeah, just hit the like button for me. Just that. Don't even ask for subscribers anymore. Just hit the like button so I know I'm not talking to myself. That's what I ask. Anyway, let's play a tune. Let's play Walking the Walk. We are weaving a hypnotic thought. We wander paths that the world forgot. A slow, peaceful, moving rest. 1 foot, 1 breath. The body is blessed. Leaving behind the home and hearth, stepping softly into the living earth, into forest branches and trees seduced by color, sense, and breeze. Breathing in abundance wide, letting troubles slip aside, here and now in body and mind, drifting gently, so soft and kind. We are weaving a hypnotic thought while taking a long, peaceful walk to rest while moving down the path, leaving behind our home and hearth. Stepping into a world of forests and trees, being seduced by nature's flowers and colored leaves, listening and breathing in all the abundance of life, and leaving behind all troubles and strife, being present and aware in both body and mind, drifting a little, but being kind. This is your world in the right time and space. Each thought is let go without leaving a trace. Each thought dissolves without a trace. Walk and move with no other desire or intent. No need to grasp. Walking through the air that is never spent. Though the air that is never spent. Feeling your feet move on the ground, with nature's song as your only sound. Acknowledge your thoughts, flutter and blow, but don't follow them, just let them go. Awareness of walking, and that alone. With patience and self-love, it will become home. A deeper knowing of being still inside, of facing oneself without having to hide. While weaving a wave while you walk, peace is found while you walk your talk. Thoughts may flutter, rise and flow, see them smile and then let them go. Awareness walking away, nothing exists but here and there. With patience, self-love finally home, the Arctic presence becomes your own. A deeper stillness held inside, no masks to wear, no need to hide. While weaving a wave while you walk, peace is found while you talk your walk. While weaving a wave, while waving a wave, while walking a wave, while weaving a walk. Peace is found when you talk your walk. Peace is found when you walk your talk.
This is your journey and it will glow. Peace is found and leading away with every stride. But you are so much more than you think you know. This is the way you must follow the flow. Walk the truth, let silence. This is the way you must follow the flow. This is your journey, watch it glow. You are far more than you think you know. Follow the rhythm, steady and slow. This is the way you follow the flow. This is the way you follow the flow.
Isn't that nice? This is the way you follow the flow. Yes, it is. It is nice. It's walking through the woods. See, I don't get half as much done as I used to, and I still haven't kind of forgiven myself for this. And working through disability, I've never really been disabled, and the frustration levels are huge because I used to get so much more done. And you know what? It still was never enough. And now I've got less done. And the frustration levels are huge because I don't know how to work through having less, I don't know, drive to get things done, just to let things go. Patience with myself. I feel that my vocabulary is a lot better than it was. I'm finding words again. Okay, so that's plus point. So I've gained confidence again doing the radio. Right, that's a plus point. Those are good, okay? But the sheer frustration levels, because I go for a walk and then I start getting dizzy. And I start losing my balance. I've got a lot of balance issues. It's like, come on, body. How many months have you got to be sick? And it's like, well, this doesn't work out that way. That isn't how it is. You know, with a flu or a cold, you can go down for a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, maybe. I'm told, like, I've got to be like this for the rest of my life. And I'm like, nope. I'm going to deny reality. There is no way. And I'm not complaining, I'm stating facts. And it's like, I can't get as much as I wanted to get done. I don't know how to do that. And I'm thinking, well, let's have patience and just take one moment at a time. And I've got I listen to some high frequencies. I like the binaural beats frequency stuff. I listen to that. I used to think I can just listen to educational podcasts and learn how to do stuff, but my brain goes, you got a headache now. Serves you right. So there's a limit, and I don't like those limits. I don't like them. Part of nature is what I wrote this morning. Part of nature and apart from nature. Humans occupy a curious position. We're part of the natural world, right? As much as the brambles, the bees, the ducks and the kites. Oh, talking of ducks, there is a little baby nest, and it's just across the other side of the canal from me, and it's making a hell of a lot of noise, so there's a little babies in there. But we spend much of our lives pretending we are separate from it, all right? It's just like, how? But somehow, from building walls, roads, cities, systems, we wonder why we feel disconnected. And it's a really strange thing because it's deep. It's deep that, like, we are separate from it. And I was trying to work out whether it's Abrahamic, because the churches and sort of all of that feel that because we have a God that loves us most, this world is ours to conquer and do with what we will. Is that, and that's taught in schools. Well, it was taught in my schools. So even though I am not Christian, I have that conditioning. And the strangest gift that humans possess is awareness of awareness. Okay? We're aware that we're aware, right? Now, I don't think my cat has that. My cat just simply is aware. And it's the ability to step back and ask questions. Who am I? Why am I? What am I? I wonder, I speculate. I sit with a cup of tea and ask, what is exactly all this? And I'm sitting on the deck of the boat, and I'm aware of being aware of who I am and what I am. But I don't think the cat is, and I don't think the brambles are. And animals rarely seem troubled by such things, but they're probably smarter and wiser. But consciousness itself, where the frickin' heck does that come from? It's both our greatest gifts and our greatest complication. You know, we have AI growing, and they're saying, oh, it's going to get conscious. We don't even know what consciousness is. If you do any kind of little web search into what the fuck is consciousness, you will find they don't know. And that, to me, okay. I've often gone into, like, this world is crazy, but we're trying to define something we haven't defined for ourselves. And it's like, how on earth would we know if AI got conscious? Well, I look at the AI stuff. I watch the AI stuff. I'm fascinated by new technology. Don't always understand it, but okay. But the AI stuff is saying that general intelligence, right? Artificial general intelligence. I hate all these acronyms. I never remember them. But this one, AGI, right? We don't understand what the goalposts are. It could have reached it already. But it's like being aware, and it causes us a lot of grief. I mean, that's first. And I watch stuff. I watch people who are trying to explain this. And some of them are useless explaining it, and I haven't a clue what they're on about. They might have got the idea, but they're not very good at passing the idea on. But, consciousness. What do you think? What do you think is consciousness? I mean, I don't want to know scientific terms. We can say, yes, well, Stephen Hawking said this, and Einstein said that, and Max Planck said that, and quantum physicist says this. Yeah, okay. These are really, really smart guys. Tell me down on the, the lower end of spectrum. They can't. I have come close to understanding it through quantum physics, but then I don't understand all of quantum physics. But it is one of the things that I have totally fascinated, like our awareness of who we are. Why are we? Language is meant to be a parasite. Yeah, I've talked about that in other things. But it is a parasite. It breeds, it infects others. So the language of our thoughts. So when you think in words, that is the parasite. That's a very interesting thing, because the instincts that come up before words are more truer than the actual words. Yeah. You go think about this for a while. It's hey, look, I am not allowed to do much. I can't sort the world out, but my brain goes off and it's trying to sort what consciousness is. Oops, I'm running low of time. Anyway, closing thought. The rain continues. The canal slowly lowers, which is quite a little bit worrying. The dog is eating grass. The cat is judging everyone. He does. He's a little judging so-and-so. Very loving. The witch stones hangs quietly where they've hung for years, and the kite circles overhead somewhere, screaming its head off. And the world remains larger than our understanding of it. Perhaps that's not something to fear. Perhaps it's something to marvel at. I think so. I think it's to wonder at. Just total wonder. Because if you don't know, it's fine. I tell myself that often. Let go of the frustration and just grab hold of wonder. Something to marvel at. Not knowing everything leaves room for mystery. This whole world of material is not the end and be all or end all of things, because consciousness proves it. Mystery. Mystery may be one of the most beautiful things we still have. One of the most beautiful things we still have is mystery. And so, yes, you can hear the frustration when I want to know. But there will always be the mysteries, and I love that. I love the fact that perhaps we won't always know.
You walked through fire so many times and never asked for anything. That's strength. That's you. That's the Dark Moon Radio.
Yep, that's the Dark Moon Radio. Okay, weird and wonderful and lots of wonder. I wonder. Anyway, I've gone over. Oh dear, what a tragedy. I will be back tomorrow at 9. I have enjoyed your company. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you'd like to check out sort of my Patreon and Substack, I just free subscribers would be lovely. Just to let me know that you've been listening, that would just be lovely. I'm not asking more than that. Anyway, love you lots. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.
The passing of time, but it is a good concept to put into rhyme. It goes too fast or too slow. My brain is always on the go. It was an inflicted thing that watches you tick while it rings.